Hi, this is Jeff Muir, Director of Client Relations at Beal Properties, and coming to you today on our YouTube channel with a short video going through all the different marketing procedures that we have in place here that we employ for clients who we manage properties for. We do get asked a lot, how are you all able to manage that size of an inventory and get things, leased so quickly? And there is a method to the madness. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. Oftentimes, we talk to people in the real estate community or people who own rental properties and are sort of managing them themselves. And we do ask questions like, what are y'all doing to market your properties? We aim for the most efficient system to utilize things that don't cost a lot of money. And we do offer some things, that have a few extra fees. So if you've received a property management contract from us, there's a section in there that says, here's what we're going to do to market your property. And there's a couple options in there that just say, free marketing is free to you. If there's a paid marketing option that you want, we're going to pass those costs along to you. And everybody that hires us wants their property, rented as soon as possible. So we do try and use a combination of those. So I'm going to dip into this screen here and show you. This is a standing document here in our office, and every property manager on our staff basically has this pinned up at their desk, and this is something that they just do on a rotating basis for all of their properties. Now, sometimes an assistant property manager might help out on these, or someone else on the staff, and there could be cases where in any given week, one or two of these things, doesn't happen, and there would be reasons for that. But just want to, go through the procedures that are ingrained in all of our property managers as they're being trained here, and then it's just a routine going forward. So we have an AFR list, what we call it, the available for rent list, that currently shows everything that's available for rent, how much the rent is, and we keep all our other internal documents coordinated with that. So the AFR always has to match the listings that show on gobeal.com. And if you go to gobeal.com, you see that there's a bunch of different ways you can search for properties by city, by type. We use apartments.com. They've been a good partner for us for a long time. And, there could potentially be, some fees passed along to clients with that if they want some extra services. But for the most part, we pay to just have a basic service so that things get pushed out through apartments.com. We do have a couple YouTube channels, and one thing that we do is we do a video walkthrough of every new property that comes in our system, once it's cleaned up, looking awesome. And this is super helpful because, we don't want to waste our time. We don't want to waste applicants' time if it's something that's just not going to be right for them. And also it allows them to maybe look at 2 or 3 comparable things and then say, all right, let me set up an appointment to be shown this specific one. That way our person is not out in the field showing 3 places, when if they would have looked at one of these, they would see, that they don't like the tile in the bathroom or whatever. So this is just a quick example of a video walkthrough. And we share these not only on this YouTube channel, but, also on Facebook, and the leasing agent will send these out to people who are inquiring about certain types of properties. So back to the marketing plan. Anyone who follows Stuart Beal knows he's super, super active on Facebook, and he promotes, all the available properties, but also has the property managers and assistant property managers and leasing agents actively, promoting the available units that we have. And we also, so part of this is also promoting things out there that are going to make someone feel more comfortable renting from us. So we might once a week feature a post on a subcontractor that we work with, and that's both to help them, but also to show people that we have reliable people that we work with that are known in the community that are going to do good work, if something comes up. We like to be, very active on Google reviews. You can go to Google and type in Beal Properties and click on, reviews and read through those. There is a Beal Properties in Chicago, and sometimes we get confused. I look through these reviews, and every now and then I can tell that the review is actually for the Chicago one, and they've told us the same thing. But you'll see an honest, community and former customer view of us on there, and client. Of course, there are some negative ones. Oftentimes, and more often than not, someone posts a very negative review. It's because something happened that frustrated them or didn't happen quick enough for them, and we're able to resolve it and get that review upgraded. But I welcome you to go in and take a look at those. We use something called Astro, which we've been testing out for the past year, and we've had one Astro unit, and we just purchased another Astro unit, and this is something that we really love, that really helps to get apartments and properties leased quickly. It makes them look good, and again, it lets more people see it, because we can only schedule so many in-person showings per day, but 1,000 people per day could look at an Astro. So what is an Astro? It's we go into the property and we set the unit up on a tripod in every room. It does a 360 shot of it, and then it stitches those together so someone can walk through. Now, this isn't a property that we own. This is an Astro sample, but so someone would pull up the address for the Astro they want to look at, and then they could just walk into the unit. And it, you can see on the bottom here, you can pick any room you want. You can spin it around. Anywhere there's an arrow, you can walk in. Now let's walk in hallway number 2. And that's going to take us through the next room. Oh, let's go see the kitchen. And people love this because it really does let them feel more comfortable, that they want to spend their time having a personal visit. Or sometimes people just say, yep, that's good enough. Send me the lease, right away. So Astro also outputs a nice floor plan for each unit, which is super helpful to have, if there's ever work that needs to be done, or sometimes prospective tenant just wants to see a floor plan. So that's awesome. We love Astro. For anything that's like a condo or a single family home, or a townhouse with its own, separate entrance, we do put on the MLS, the multi-listing system, and that way realtors can show those on their own. We use a bunch of different platforms, such as affordablehousing.com, if it applies to that, Craigslist, and we have a system, to make sure that the thing we're posting, is at the top of the listings. We don't just put it up there once and then let 1,000 things, get above it. We do a refer a friend program. So for tenants, employees, contractors, if they refer someone to rent with us, we will give them either a gift card or a credit on their rent. This is pretty popular. And so we also do marketing flyers that can get posted out to social media that, tell the details of the property. We use Rent Links, which you can look that up. It's just another marketing platform. We get probably close, some days more than 100, leads a day, between texts, emails, people filling out the form on gobeal.com, that kind of thing. And those need to get responded to, same day within 24 hours. And we do follow up with those. So, we offer an appointment to everyone who is approved. We do have a third-party screening system that runs a criminal background check and a credit report. We do check employment references. We will get the last 2 pay stubs. We will call employment and former landlord references. And then, we have a full-time applications manager who screens stuff. Stuart Beal is the one and only person who approves or denies an applicant. He's been doing that for 20 years, and he sees things that other people don't necessarily see on an application or on a credit report. And we won't show an apartment to someone who hasn't been approved. There are exceptions to that, depending, but that's our standard practice. We also do yard signs on available places. If you drive around Ypsilanti, where there's a heavy concentration of Beal managed properties, you'll see a lot of yard signs. And then we also put a sign on the building itself. There are exceptions to that if it's in a condo association where they don't allow that or something, but that just builds visibility. So that is a walkthrough of what we do day in and day out, week in and week out, month in and month out, to be able to have basically a 99% occupancy rate on an inventory of over 3,000 units that we manage. It works really well for us and our clients. Once a place is rent ready, looking great, cleaned up, everything working, we almost always get it rented within 30 days. The exceptions to that would be if it's overpriced. And in that case, we will give the feedback to the client, let them know we need to lower the rent here, but we're pretty accurate with pricing things and getting things rented. So thanks for watching this. If you have any questions, you can email me at jeff.muir@gobeal.com, and we would love to manage your property. Thank you.